I don't know if I'm live just yet, so I think I need to talk. Good morning. I changed screens, so here I am. Listen, I'm Kisa. I'm Coach K. Many of you may not have even known that I was going to be on live this morning, but you can't keep a good man down and you can't keep a good woman down. So guess what? I'm back. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm back. I took a little bit of a break from being live, but I'm back now because I believe that what I have to share is too good to keep it to myself, friends. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's too good to do that. I'm not gonna do that. It is something that I understand that I have been working on for a while. Um, and um, it's really led me to this point, right? Um, how can I say this to you? Uh, all the things that I have done have led me to this point. What do I mean when I say that? I mean, I can go back and I'm here on StreamYard, right? I can go back and I can literally show you. Let me make sure that I erase some things that I have on the screen right now. Bless it, Lord, bless it. Let me take that off so it will make sense. Good morning for those of you who are joining me. Let me take that off. It'll make sense a little bit later. But I am Keisha Sharp. I am Coach K. I pray all is well with you this morning on this Wednesday. Dreary Wednesday if you're in central Alabama, but maybe we're having some great weather wherever you are. Either way, good to see you today. Good to see you today. Would love for you to share out because I have an announcement this morning. You have seen me, everything that I've done, I promise you, has led up to this. You have seen me do so many different things in the community. And this is probably one of the things that's going to be near and dear to my heart more than anything. I'm literally sharing this out right now. And what I would say to you is if you believe that this is something that could be a benefit to some other people, I would love for you to share this out. But anyway, we're going to talk this morning about the love reset, friends. The love reset. And what is a reset? It's just like it sounds, it's a reset. How many of you, if you were honest, there may be some of you who are married, but even if you are married, I want to ask you this question. Have you noticed, even for those of you who are married, have you noticed the confusion? Have you noticed the turmoil? Have you noticed the negativity that's around dating? Is it just me? Or has anyone noticed all of the drama that's around the whole dating space right now? And let me add this other layer, the drama that's around the space of dating, particularly for African Americans. Like there is a whole thing, my friends, about dating. There's a whole thing about it. Almost seems like we're trying to be just as nasty. It almost seems like we're trying to be just as cutthroat as we can. Like I'm really like floored. Like I'm floored that we are so negative as it relates to dating. And I want to change that. I want to change that. And over these next few days, I want to talk about how I can personally change it, but I can't do it alone. I certainly need your help. What is it? It's the love reset. And what is the love reset? The love reset, and by the way, the subtitle to the love reset is why dating over 45 is your superpower. And if you can't benefit from it, you may be happily married. Maybe you know someone who can benefit from the love reset. And I appreciate you sharing it with them as well. That is what would be huge for me. I have some seats assigned. We're about halfway there. So we're literally 10 days out. We're 10 days out. I suspect all of those seats will be filled, right? And it's an hour long masterclass that you come. I mean, we can do an hour. You get me from, outside of an hour, that may be a little peculiar, but we can do an hour. But coming up on July 25th at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, We are going to host the Love Reset, which is a free webinar. There will be no replays. So unless you get your seat, unless you are on the call, unless you are on our meeting space on our webinar, you're not going to know what we talked about. I'm not going to provide clips for you because I talk and encourage enough in this space. No, you'll have to be there to be able to see it. Let's talk really quickly about why I created it, because one of the changes that I'm making going forward, I'm not going to be on here talking for an hour. You know, sometimes in the past I would get on here, talk an hour, so people dip in and dip out and catch me at different times. No, we're going to cut that down because Kisa has other things to do. You have other things to do. So we're going to get right to the point. What's the point? Why did I create this? I created it because I am literally done with all the negativity around dating, particularly for those who are over 45. I'm done with all that negativity. I'm done with it. We can still talk about some of the things. We can still let's talk about it. Let's talk about your frustrations. Let's talk about some of the things you're hearing out there in these spaces. Let's talk about how to improve that. Let's talk about your chances. Let's talk about what I can do as a coach, as a relationship and transformation coach to help you. Let's talk about all of that. But what I will not do moving forward, you can like it, love it, or lump it, I'm not going to allow you to sit in that narrative which says you have missed your opportunity or that there is no chance for you. That's over with. That's over with. And I'm trying to calm down, but that's over with. You can turn anywhere. All you have to do is pick up this phone or get on this computer in which I'm sitting in front of, and you can start scrolling. It will not take you very long to be able to see negativity. It doesn't take long to see it. It doesn't take long to get there, friends. You already know what I'm talking about. We've got plenty of that on this here internet. And I'm an English minor. I can say that I am grammatically incorrect on this case, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. On this here internet, you can start scrolling. You can get online. You can get on social media. And I can guarantee you this, it will not take you long, right? So here, for those of you, shout out to those of you who are on joining us live, but you can start scrolling on this here internet. You can start scrolling it on this app, and it will not take you long at all before you find out and see that we have gone astray as it relates to relating to one another. Oh, we've gone astray. See, as adults, we like to be able to stand in the position and tell our children what they've done wrong. We like to be able to tell our children that, oh, they've gone astray. Well, let me say this. If they've gone astray, then what does it say about the folks who are shepherding them? I'm just, truth didn't hurt anybody. Truth doesn't hurt anybody, y'all. So if they've gone astray, I take personal responsibility for that as well as a person who's a part of my community. Sometimes I go and I substitute teach. And as a person who's responsible for my community, though I do not have any biological children, but I've got many children in heart, I take responsibility for my community. So if I see a child who's doing something that could hurt them later on, I am going to say, sweetheart, you may want to think about this. Sweetheart, that's probably not a good look. Sweetheart, you may want to do this a little bit differently because I take responsibility. So at this point, at 54 years old, as a woman who has been married and who has been divorced and who is dating and who will be married again, I take responsibility to be able to talk, to be able to share what I know, but to also own the fact that I certainly have made some missteps along the way. I own that, friends. I own it. And I don't put the onus. Certainly, partners of mine have made some mistakes. I'm not dealing with that. But in order for Kisa to be better, in order for Kisa to do better, in order for Kisa to have the success story, I shifted my mind on it. I can't go back and change what they've done, they have or have not done. I can't change that. But what I fully can do and I'm fully in control of and what I fully hold on to is the fact that Kisa can make change herself. Kisa can make some adjustments herself. Kisa can think differently herself in order to have a different outcome. The love reset. Let's get to it. For those of you who have been, obviously, it's not for my married folks. Obviously not. And then, I just thought about it. No, it's not, because we specifically talk about dating, but it is for the folks who have been married before. So let's go ahead and get to it. Let me show you exactly what it is and exactly where it is. Here it is, y'all. It's really simple. I've already put the address that's in the comments already. The love reset. Why dating after 45 is your superpower. It is absolutely no cost. Of course, we want your email because we want to make sure that we're able to give you any updates if we change platforms, or, or if there's something else that shifts, et cetera, or we want to make sure that we communicate, that it's still on. We're going to give you a reminder, different things like that, right? Okay. So, again, this is the webinar. My life has brought me to this point. I remember, y'all, specifically that I was on and I was giving people all these tips, and the address is on the screen, the Love Reset. Let me show you exactly what it is, but it's in the caption. It's the Love Reset .eventbrite.com, thelovereset.eventbrite.com. Absolutely free. It's a webinar. I'm really trying to contain my excitement about it all. But again, as I look at all of this and as I look at life, y'all, we've got some serious issues affecting our community, right? We've got some real serious issues affecting our community. And I can no longer tolerate the discouragement. I can no longer tolerate the fear. I can no longer tolerate the erroneous information that's put out there in this space. That's really why I became active on social media anyway. I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, I was still married. I was living in Hueytown, of all places, in Hueytown, living in Hueytown. And I remember being in my living room. I remember seeing this gentleman who was a coach, and he was really what I would call a sketchy coach. He was really sketchy, y'all. And I was gonna say his actions, he was nefarious, but nefarious implies that they're really evil. So we won't go there. We won't say that. But I can just tell you that he was very sketchy. And he was trying to tell women, I'm giving you a look at the page while I talk, at the Love Reset. It's the Eventbrite page. If you don't need it, maybe a friend needs it. The Love Reset, why dating after 45 is your superpower. But this is how it looks, right? And I just remember 3 or 4 years ago, actually, I would say it was about 5 years ago. This is 2026. So it had to be about 2021, 2022. And I remember reading on social media how this gentleman was going through, and he was trying to explain to women why they were dealing with certain things. He was trying to explain to women, what was going on with them. And that just gave me cause for pause, because I'm just like, how is a man more qualified to tell a woman what she's going through in dating and all of that stuff? I'm not saying that they're not qualified, but I personally had contact with this coach. I personally worked with him, and I knew he was sketchy and he lacked integrity. I know, because I supported him and his projects and his work, and he just never came through, took the money and ran. So if you're going to take money from me and run and not complete what you said that you were going to do, sir, I can't hear you. And sir, you're not even qualified to tell me as a woman how I should feel, what I should feel. I'm not saying that gentlemen are wrong. I'm not saying that they don't know and have experience with that, but that's why I enter the space. Because it's like, I'm a woman. I don't know how every woman feels, because argumentatively, and you would have a great point, certainly I don't know how every woman feels. I'm a single 54-year-old woman You understand? My experience will be different from another single 54-year-old woman, but I do think that there are similar threads that we possess. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? We have similar threads. So, no, I can't speak for every 54-year-old woman, okay? But what I did understand is that this man who lacks integrity, and trust me, I'm very protective of people, but I will give examples and principles. He lacked integrity. And he's on this here social media, on the book, and some other things on this. And I'm scrolling and I see him on this app, y'all's favorite app that y'all scroll. And he's on here trying to tell women about advice and what they need. And I was like, Lord, I've got to enter this space. 4 or 5 years ago, I was very unclear about what I was going to do. I was just like, I'm a change coach because I know how to deal with change really, really well. Well, what I think the Lord did for me is show me that in change, Kisa, you've been through a lot of change in relationships. You've been through divorce. You've been through remarriage. You've been through a breakup. You've been through getting married again. You've been through healing after divorce. You've been through a change in your career. You've been through change in your family. You've been through losing a very close loved one. You've been through career shifts. You've been through 30 years in a career and doing different facets of that career. I'm a 30-year communicator, but I have been a broadcast news anchor. I have been a writer for a publication. I have been a public relations spokesperson. You have so much knowledge. I have been a radio news anchor. I have been a television news anchor. I have been a writer for a publication. I have been a self-published author. So in that communications arena, I have seen change. In my career, I have seen a ton of change. So my initial byline was, I am a change coach. I'm helping you with change in your life, your career, and relationships. Well, it was great because it covered everything, right? But the challenge was it covered everything. So then briefly, I remember the beginning of this year, I thought, man, so many people are dealing with job losses because we have women who, to the tune, African American women, to the tune of over 300,000 who have lost jobs at this point and who are searching for jobs and searching for different things to do. And I thought, man, I sure can help some people as it relates to career transition. So I went in that path and we did 30 days to change at the beginning of the year. I almost want to go back to it because I loved that, showing you how to deal with change in your life, change in your career, how to journal for 10 days, how to, the questions you need to ask, the things that you need to look at if you're going to journal it, excuse me, if you're going to change careers. And I still have that resource. I still have that resource. If that's something that I can help you with, just DM me, just send me a message. But then as I keep on going, I see that there are so many issues in my community that we are having as it simply relates to relating one another. Y'all, I can go out today. Once I finish this, I'll go and go work at one of my favorite shops. And I can go out and I will be able to see other communities as I go out and as I go have lunch and have meetings. Other communities don't ever let go of this one central thing. They're going to come together and they're going to continue to grow their family. I don't care if an administration changes. I don't care if the economy changes. I don't care if the doggone world changes. I don't care what happened. They're going to have a strength in their family. They're going to get married. They're going to procreate. What I see in the African American community is that as administrations change, is that as life changes, is that as the economy changes, is that as we have to shift and we've seen more women who have had more financial success in some instances, more women who have become college educated. All of this has done a function. Back in the day, we survived after slavery, after the civil rights movement. We survived because we were just like this. We knew we had each other's back. That's how a people survive. Point blank, period, end of story. Just like this. We're going to put our collective differences aside. Excuse me, y'all, my nose is itchy. We're going to put our collective differences aside to come together. But as society changed, as we found more women entering the workforce, as we found that the women determined, oh, I don't necessarily need a man. As we have introduced things like welfare, as we introduce things like public assistance, which in some cases rewards women for being alone with their children. This ain't no knock on anybody who has to have some assistance. We done all been there. We done all been there. I don't care what current success we have. We've all been there. We've all been there. So this is not a knock, because we all need a hand up sometimes. But as we have all these benefits and women are able to work more, women are able to get out of the house, and they say they don't need a man, and they can get their own resources. They can buy a house. They can buy a car. This is what it's done to our community. Are you seeing the illustration? This is what it's done to our community. This is what it's done to our community. So instead of us adjusting, we divided. What's up, KG? Can't see your we didn't fully prepare and evolve as Black folks after integration. No, ma'am, we didn't, KG. This is what we did. Every other community does this. Excuse me. They do this. They do this. You can't pull them. I don't care. You can move them to the, this is my right, maybe your left. You can move them to the right. You can move them to the left. But they understand that as long as they're together. But for us, this is what we did. And the Black woman is often criticized for being strong and for being, the head of household and thinking she's all that because she's had to hold down. I don't know a single Black woman who, if a gentleman came up to her and talked to her and said, look here, sweetheart, I know that you've achieved a certain success. I don't have that. We know that you're making more than I do. You're the primary breadwinner. But listen, I want you to understand, this is where I'm going to come in and support you. Because when we put this thing together, it's beautiful. This is what I can do to help you. This is how I can support you. This is what I need you to do to support me. Now, if we're going to get into you thinking you're going to talk to me in a kind of way, if we're going to get into you thinking you're going to treat me in a kind of way, that ain't going to work. I'm a man. I'm going to still demand respect from you, just as I understand you demand respect from me. Tell me on what planet would that not make sense? And tell me on what planet does that not work? Come on, y'all. I'm leaving your statement up, KG, because as the world evolved, I don't think my community evolved. We used it as an opportunity to further separate, and I can't even accuse an agenda, because we've got to be smarter, because as we became smarter intellectually and we leveled up, it's like relationally we leveled down. What woman is gonna reject a man who comes to her like that? What woman? I've been married twice. I had a very high paying good job in corporate America. I still wanted to come home to a husband at the end of the day. I still wanted a husband to support me at the end of the day. I still liked it when my husband would take me out to lunch or take me out to dinner at the end of the day, even though I had this wonderful corporate job back in the day. So I can no longer buy this narrative that we're putting out. Oh, when she gets this, she thinks this. Is it her? In some cases, it is her. In some cases, it is her. But is it her always? Or is that your insecurity talking? Ladies, if you're going to tell me that all men are this, is it all men? Or is that your insecurity? Nobody, I'm equal opportunity. I'm fair. So as I'm going to be honest with the women, I'm going to be honest with the guys as well. You can't tell me all men. You can't tell me all women. I'm 54. I'm not 24. I'm not 34. I'm not 44. In other words, I've been here a little bit. Got a little bit of head knowledge, got a little bit of experiential knowledge. So all while other communities continue to prosper, regardless of the climate, regardless of the challenges of the country, regardless of economic challenges, regardless, they still do this. And my brothers and sisters, I'm not trying to exclude anybody else, but I fully understand that in this arena, I'm connected. I'm a diversely connected woman. I'm a diversely connected coach. This is not any knock to any other community. I'm actually celebrating that in those communities. And I'm saying Why don't we leave the sob stories behind? Why don't we take responsibility for the self growth and the maturity that it requires to level up relationally? If it's just about money, I look at women like Beyonce. Beyonce stands in one of the most powerful positions as an artist. She's married. Oh, well, Jay-Z is a bit don't I don't that's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. She's married. And there's something about her that Jay-Z absolutely loves, and he's still there with her, and they've built a family together. And they're running things together. Shout out to Jay-Z. I got on him the other day because I was like, he really, I really don't respect his rap game, but for some reason somebody does, so I have to respect it. But shout out to Jay-Z for at least marriage. Now he's tone deaf when it comes to some issues affecting us as a community, but on this one, in marrying an African American woman and understanding how to circulate that, he got it right there. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Glory to the Lamb of God. He got it right there, but he's tone deaf on some other things. I'm on yeah, the issues that affect us. They're not like us. They're not like us. Because some things he needs to comment on as a prominent African American that he doesn't. Oh, y'all can criticize me if you want, but hey, that's fine. I can take it. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the love reset and just how, as a community, my heart hurts for my community. That's the story about why I'm doing this, because I want to see us level up. It's not our responsibility to bring everyone along, but inevitably there will be some people who will come along. There are some, but imagine this, sister, that there's some guy who's out there praying for you. But now we're gonna have to level up on there's some guy out there praying for you, praying that God connect him with the woman that he absolutely loves and that he can absolutely protect. But now there's some things that you're gonna have to do. I had to level up in terms of being an entrepreneur. I remember when I was going out to my corporate job, it was no issue to kind of dress and do some things and all that kind of stuff. And I found myself at some point as an entrepreneur, it was like, well, I'm gonna just go natural, no makeup. I'm gonna just get up and be natural and go with my natural self, my natural hair, my natural skin, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that sounded good. That sounded good. But men are attracted to what they see. They're visually attracted to us. So, I keep my hair on point. I get up and put my makeup on. I put my lipstick on. You understand? I have my powder so I can cut down on the oil on my face, because he wants something, what? Visually appealing. I get out and I walk every day. I walk my dog. I get fresh air. I make sure that I'm looking my best. I dress. I may not dress in $1 million dress, and you know what I'm saying, but I'm going to be neatly put together as a whole. Because why? Because men are visual. I can't throw away that part. Everything in me will want to excuse that and say, oh, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have to do all that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Kisa. Because men have options. Now, I'm not saying women don't have options, but men certainly have options today. We got a lot of boss sisters, and I celebrate them, right? I'm not it, but here's the deal. I'm competing against Kisa, because I'm not competing against them. I'm competing against Kisa. Kisa will continue to level up in her thinking. Kisa will continue to level up in her finances. Kisa will continue to level up in her spiritual walk with the Lord. Kisa will continue to level up in her game as a coach and in her career and profession and business as a coach. Level up. I'm going to continue to do that. And as I do that, God's going to connect. So that's the backstory. Here is the link. I want to see you there. 1 hour, 1 hour for change, my friend. We're not concerned about who else is not coming, who's coming or not coming. See, that's when the Bible, God told Lot's wife not to look back as he was delivering them and moving them. And Lot's wife made the mistake of looking back. Anybody, my Bible scholars, know what happened to her when she looked back? Any of my Bible scholars know what happened to her? As he was delivering them, as he was moving them, as he was saving them, God said, don't look back. Just keep going ahead. Just keep going ahead. He's in the middle of delivering them, a masterful deliverance of Lot and his wife and his family. And he simply told them, don't look back. And the temptation to look back was greater than the promise of what's ahead. Woo, that's a word for somebody today. The temptation to look back was greater than the promise that lay ahead. Lord, help me to not look back. Lord, help me to not look back. Lord, help my sister to not look back. Gold star student today, KG. KG, you're like that one. I know you're gonna give me a good answer. I know you're gonna give me something good. you, you ever you ever been a teacher, a pillar of salt? Come on, Janice. Come on, Janice Clark. Come on. A pillar of salt she became. You gold star student for you too, Janice. What am I saying? Come on, ladies. We're not looking back. There's nothing we can do, especially to my over 45 crowd. There is nothing that we can do about that. Take the lesson, understand how not to go in certain spaces again, give your heart to certain people again, but let's bring that on into the future and let's look at what's ahead. There's more than what is ahead of you than what is behind. There's more than what's ahead of you than what's behind. Come spend an hour with me and let's change this. Your best days are ahead of you, not behind you. Your best days are ahead of you, not behind you. thelovereset.eventbrite.com. I'll be back on here each and every morning until we have this masterclass. I'm really so excited because all of what I've been through has brought me to this point, which is to encourage you. KG facts. Miss Vicky said KG facts. She became salty. All of what I've been through has brought me to this point to be able to serve you, to be able to bless you. I don't do it traditionally. I'm out of the box. Like I'm not the coach who's taking 10 calls a day and working with clients. No, I coach in mass. So I coach in platforms like this, online, social media, webinars, group events. Those are the things that bless my soul. Now, I do individual coaching sessions, but I'm saying mostly this is what I do. And speaking of, I'm going to give you just a couple of things here as relates to my comments. I posted earlier for those of you who want to, if you know that you are not happy where you are, you need to move to a different place, you can go ahead and get on my schedule right now. If you want to work with me, it's no pressure, but here's an opportunity. I have left this price up for now, $47 to talk to me and do a dating clarity call. If you want some answers, if you need to get unstuck, if you need to understand why you're not seeing the traction or why guys don't call you back or why blah, 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 we're going to talk about it. But one of my strengths, I believe in this point, is telling you what's going on and why you're not getting the date. Don't ask me why, but I can literally look at some people and just be able to tell you. And I believe it's the Spirit of God and it's just the gift and the grace that's on me right now. I can chat with you and look at you and hear. Okay, I can hear what's going on. For some people, it's their attitude. I can hear it because you're gonna say it. Well, these guys, I can hear the negativity. For some of you, you need to up level like I needed to and get rid of the excuse of, oh, I'm just a coach and I'm an entrepreneur. No, baby, you need to level up when you step outside of the door. Steve Harvey talks about this. Your off day could be your on day, could be the on day for somebody else. You need to consider every day an on day for you when you step outside of the door. You understand? If you're not made up to the hills, maybe you just kind of just make sure you're neat and you have on something that's nice and pleasant looking. So that may be an issue that you don't take it seriously enough. Oh, I don't need to do all that. Okay. When we already know that men are visually motivated, we're not saying they're going to stay there, but they're visually motivated. Okay, I can hear it in something else. It's either that negative attitude, desperation may come through, or maybe you're not doing what you need to do to get the attention, or you lack the encouragement, or you lack the, oh, this is a big one. This is a big one. The ones who stay at home all the time. I just go to work and come back home. I just go to work and come back home. I don't know what to say to that. I want you to just hear how it sounds. You're believing God. You go to work, church, home. Work, church, home. You don't go to networking events. You don't go see anybody. You don't go do anything. Work, church, home to watch your movie. How are you going to connect with him? Okay, I don't need to say anything else about that. But how are you going to connect? If you need a dating clarity call, I'm that sister who's going to tell you the truth, because I'm going to give you one shot. I'm not going to bear with you for 6 weeks and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm going to give you one shot. I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going on. And I'm going to still love you after it. Still love you. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth that nobody else has been able to tell you. That's $47. That's a deal. I don't know how long that's going to stay. That's a deal. If you need some encouragement, or you need somebody to tell you that, I got you covered. All right. Enough of that. All right. Here is the other. What did you say, KG? Ooh, ouch. What did I say, KG? I don't, I get to going. I don't know what I just said. And I'm not pointing to anybody. I'm talking to myself first and foremost. We didn't fully prepare or evolve as Black people. Boy, that's a statement. Is that a statement? All right. So the link to sign up for the webinar is here. It's free, y'all. It's free. It's a free webinar. The Love Reset. It's running across the bottom of the screen. The Love Reset.eventbrite.com. The Love Reset.eventbrite.com. Okay. That's the link in which you need to sign up. And KG, it didn't feel good when I looked back at myself on some of the things. I'm on this platform of StreamYard. And when I started looking back after my divorce, and when I started looking back in that time frame of immediately getting divorced, and kind of going through that transition and getting to this point, in that space, I looked at myself on a couple of things, and I had a couple of things left on here. And I looked at myself, and I was like, well, don't be natural. I see some people come on here and they're natural, and they don't wear their makeup, and they can do this, and they're getting all their views. That's them. That's them. For me, I can't look at myself where I'm not giving the full whatever. I can't do that. Somebody else can do it. I can't do that. That's not for me. That's for somebody else. I looked at myself on some of those things, and I was like, well, Keisha, I'm in transition. I don't have the ability. Get on YouTube University and figure out how to do your nails. If you can't polish your nails, keep it very simple. I keep my nails simple with a clear coat of polish, or a very neutral coat of polish, but they're going to be neat. If I paint them and there's paint left, I take it off. Okay. So anyway, I had to be honest with myself, KG. I had to be honest with myself. You're saying don't go nowhere. Ooh. Gotta get out of that house, sweetheart. Gotta get out of that house. I don't care if it's just to go to the library. I don't care if it's to take yourself to a coffee shop, treat yourself to a $3 cup of coffee, a $4 cup of coffee. And the closer the better. If you can walk somewhere or drive right up the street, do that and be seen. I am going to go work. I'm going to go work in a coffee shop today. I'm not going to sit here all by my whatever. Now, have I met someone in the coffee shop to this point? No. But I'm at least giving God the opportunity. I'm at least giving myself an opportunity to get out and to mingle and to see and to breathe and to be seen. God will do the connecting at his appointed time. And plus, I just work better there anyway. But try it, KG. The library. Maybe once a week you go to the library. So, and you see how I operate. I do what you call coaching, and I do it in mass. This is where I kind of do laser coaching, right? We can, and what I found with myself, KG, is that the staying in was a form of protecting myself after the divorce. It was a form of protecting myself. It was a form of kind of holding myself in hostage, or kind of punishing myself almost, is what it was. Um, so, what you also have to ask yourself is, why is it that I'm not going anywhere? Why is it that I'm in this comfort zone? Why is it that I'm not exploring my city, exploring my community, exploring this world that God has given to me? Honey, please get out and enjoy the world. Please get out and go see. This world is fast changing. Please get out and go see it. Here's a look again, y'all. The Love Reset. Love Reset .eventbrite.com. It is a webinar that happens not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I'm back on tomorrow morning, everybody, and I'm going to be sharing with you all throughout why I want you to be a part of it. And yes, ladies, we have some gentlemen who've already signed up for the Love Reset. Why dating after 45 is your superpower. And I'm so glad I didn't specify, as I probably would have if I would have given it much thought. We've got some gentlemen who've already signed up. So this is not limited to ladies. It's for gentlemen too, who are starting over again and who want the opportunity to love again and to do it right. It is your best opportunity ever. I'm Kisa, Coach K. I'll see you back on here tomorrow morning. I'll give you details about when I'm coming on, okay? Make it a productive day. Mwah. Love y'all.